everybody. Welcome to the Fire It Up with CJ show. Today we have John Perkins talking about his book, Touching the Jaguar, Transforming Fear into Action to Change Your Life and the World. Gosh, do we need you in this book more than ever? So welcome, John.
Thank you so much, CJ. It's great to be with you today.
Yeah, it's great having you here. I'm very excited because I have done dabbled a little bit in shamanism, and I was wondering if when we start out, you could start calling in the Jaguar to our interview. Is that something that you could do?
I'd love to. An incident I've got a baby jaguar here with me, right here. A statue of one behind me, but a live one right here. Can you
I,
see her?
I can. She's so cute.
Yeah, it's a little tabby cat, and I'm also wearing one. Anyway, okay. Surrounded by jaguars.
I love it. That was one of it was a spirit animal of mine at one point during my journey, and I loved the jaguar.
Yeah,
But
me too.
what's the meaning of the jaguar? The meaning of the spiritual meaning of jaguar.
Well, so I first was introduced to this practice by a shaman deep in the Amazon rainforest, 1969. I was a Peace Corps volunteer living with the Shaur people who
Hmm.
were hunters and gatherers living very close to nature, what we might call primitive lives, although it's, in my opinion, it's not at all primitive. It's beautiful. And I get very, very sick at one point. I was dying. I couldn't keep any food down. And I was a 3-day, extremely difficult journey to get to the nearest medical facility that would
Mm.
involve hiking through a jungle for a full day, a very dense jungle, and then taking a rickety old bus up about 10,000 feet through very curvy roads. No way I could do it. I couldn't even stand up on my own.
Mm.
But one night, a shaman offered to heal me. And I'd never even heard of a shaman in those days. I graduated from business school. You know, this is 1969. Who ever heard of a shaman? But he was the best bet I had. There was no other option. So I accepted. And next thing I know, I'm sitting in his lodge, and I'm on this shamanic journey that is taking me into a deep, deep altered state. And I see this amorphous form in front of me. I get my eyes closed, and he yells at me, "Touch the jaguar." Well,
Right.
I'm in the middle of a jungle. It's dark. It's nighttime. It's scary. And I look all around. I open my eyes. I look all around for the jaguar. Where's the jaguar? And he says, "No, no, no, no. Close your eyes and see the jaguar and touch it." So I did. I closed my eyes, and this amorphous form shapeshifted into a jaguar. And I heard this voice say, "Son, it'll kill you. The food and drink will kill you." And I realized at that moment that I've been eating some very strange food. So the Shaur people don't eat the kinds of food I grew up with in New Hampshire, at all. And a favorite delicacy of theirs is you reach in a rotting log and you pull out a handful of squirming white grubs and down the hatch.
You
And
don't even fry them up with butter,
no,
nothing.
no,
Just
no, no, you eat them raw. I mean, that's where the nutrition is.
oh.
And uh, and they don't drink water in the Amazon from the rivers because they know the rivers are dangerous. In our terms, they're filled with organic matter that's rotting in the rivers, and so the rivers are polluted from organic matter, not industrial pollution like we have here. But the women make a kind of beer called chicha by chewing and spitting manioc root, and it sets up a fermentation process, alcohol. Then you can mix water with it, and it's okay to drink. And I'm drinking a lot of chicha because you gotta spit beer because you gotta rehydrate in the Amazon. And there wasn't any Perrier,
Right.
and I'm drinking a lot of squirming white grubs and other things that I won't even mention because there weren't any Cliff Bars. So so on this shamanic journey, I see this jaguar, and as I see it, I hear this voice like my mother saying, "Son, the food and drink will kill you." At the same time, I see how incredibly healthy and robust the
Mm,
Shaur are. They're,
mhm.
these are hunters and gatherers. They're built like Rambo, like Tarzan. And people and the women, I was in my early 20s, the women were looking really fine. and and people live to be very old if they don't die in a hunting accident,
Yeah.
something like that. And so on this shamanic journey, I saw that it wasn't the food and drink that were killing me. It was my perception, my
Mm,
mindset.
mm.
And after that, I got healthy. And a few days later, the shaman says to me, like, well, you owe me. And they were a culture that had no currency. They were all barter. My papayas were your bananas. I didn't know what I was going to do, but he says, you got to become my apprentice. Well, as I said, it's 1969. I graduated from business school. There was no future in shamanism in those days. Uh, there is now, but there wasn't then.
Right.
But I saved my life, so I did. And the first thing he taught me, he said, touching the jaguar means that we identify our fears, our blockages, the things that get in our way. And in this case, it was my fear of the food.
Mm,
And we don't run from that. We don't ignore it. We go to it and we look at it. We touch it. And when you touch that jaguar, it gives you the energy, the creativity, the courage, whatever it is you need
mm,
to look at your perception, change your perception, and then you change your actions, and
mm,
that changes reality.
mm,
So what he really told me is that our perceptions mold our reality.
mm.
So if you think about it, CJ, there's no Russia, there's no China, there's no United States, there's no religion, there's no culture, there's no corporations, there's no economy except as we perceive them. And when enough people accept a perception or codify it into law, it has a huge impact on reality.
Okay, I want to go circle back to, you're dying. You didn't have any medical resources around, and you touched a jaguar in your mind through this shamanic journey. I and you had this idea the food and drink will kill you. So that seems like a kind of an unbelievable thing to I'm dying to, hey, that's just a perception. I'm living again. Like how did that's like a big jump. How did that happen? That the perception of the food and drink will kill you. So you're saying you identified your fear, you touched it, and what did it literally just involved in your shamanic journey touching this visual representation in your journey of the black jaguar?
Seeing how healthy the Shaur were from eating the same food,
But
and
did
no,
that come in your mind, or is that like,
so the way the shaman described this is kind of cool. Is he says, here's a reality:
mhm,
uh, spit beer and squirming white grubs. This is a reality. There's what you call a bridge, a perception bridge. He described it as like a log across a river, but I call it a bridge. And he says, to move, if you cross that bridge with the idea that this spit beer is killing you, then you reach a reality that you get sick.
mm,
If you can change that perception to the spit beer is local, organic, nutritious food, which it is, and squirming white grubs are incredibly nutritious when you come right down to it.
mhm,
Uh, if you cross that perception bridge, that takes you to a different reality.
mm,
You become healthy. But standing on that perception bridge is a jaguar.
mm,
And the jaguar is on that log, on that bridge, and the jaguar is stopping you because it's reminding you your mother's voice. Somebody saying,
mm.
you can't eat that kind of stuff. You got to eat canned corn. And frozen,
That's good for you.
yeah, frozen dinners, which was a big thing in the 50s when I grew up in New Hampshire. Suddenly there
Right.
was frozen, we could get frozen foods in the middle of
Yeah.
winter, which you
Yeah.
couldn't, they seemed fresh.
Yeah.
This is healthy. And so standing on that bridge is this jaguar. And the jaguar in this case is this voice saying, it'll kill you. But if when you touch that jaguar, and you see, my goodness, all these people I'm living with, they're a lot stronger than I am. They're very, very healthy people.
So
And that
it's literally that change of like you're on the bridge, you see the jaguar, and then the shaman is helping you reframe your perception into this is nutritious. That was literally, it was that in the journey, or is
yeah,
that, oh, interesting.
I saw. So first I hear my mom. I hear this voice saying, "The
Hmm.
food will kill you," and then I see this. I have a vision of the Shaur that I've been watching them. I've been living with them, and the men are out hunting with these blowguns, and they carry out of the woods. They go into the woods and they kill a huge wild boar, which weighs a lot. They carry it for a couple of miles out of the forest on their shoulders. You know, these guys, they got legs that would make an Olympic soccer player jealous.
Yeah,
You know, and and the women are exceptional. You know,
right.
and so and the people live to be very old. And I saw this as I went through this journey. I could
In the
see.
journey, you saw it. Oh, wow. And then you're like, oh, wow. It just shifted.
I've been watching this in person for a couple of the time I've been living there, several weeks, month, and I'd seen all these people, and I was very impressed with them and their physical prowess and their ability to, to navigate through the forest and to jump across rivers. I mean, very, very strong people. And now, on this shamanic journey, that all comes back to me as a vision. And I think,
Oh.
well, and also it came back to me. I actually saw, I had a view of like a college or a high school biology book that showed the digestive system of a human being. And I realized they get the same digestive system I do. You know, it's
Mm,
same, everything's there that I got.
mm.
And they're eating these foods, and these foods are making them healthy. And of course, now we're very into local organic food, and that's what these are. I mean, there's more
Exactly.
local organic than spending my gut and
Wow. Okay,
sugar.
I get it now. Oh, well, okay, got it. So it was literally in the journey that you were having this transformation, and then you came back, went cross the bridge, touched the Jaguar, and then like shifted your perception, and then proceeded to get well. I mean,
Yeah.
did you do anything in addition aside from continue to drink the beer and eating the grubs? I mean,
Well, when I drank the beer and ate the grubs, after that, I had I intentionally had a very different concept rather than thinking, oh my God, this is going to make me sick, or oh my God, I thought about how healthy the schwa are, and I thought, well, this is nutritious, and this is
mm,
now I can drink this, and it's this water. They put river water in it, so you can drink a lot of it, but the alcohol is killed. And I realized that it's not something that the schwa necessarily understood. They didn't really understand the concept of bacteria, but
yeah.
they knew that it worked. I understood the concept of bacteria, so now suddenly I'm saying, yeah, it's alcohol. Duh.
Ah,
And
ah,
the
love it.
Peace Corps had actually taught us that if you're in a situation where you don't ever drink water, and they would say if you can buy a bottle of rum or some alcohol, you can mix a little bit of a couple of eyedroppers into a big bottle of water, and that'll cure that'll purify the water.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were taught
Interesting.
that in Peace Corps training. So suddenly I'm saying, well, yeah, that's what these guys are doing.
Wow, I love it. Okay, we've been talking to John Perkins and his book, Touching the Jaguar, and transforming fear into action to change your life, literally your life, and the world. So, in the next segment, I want to talk to you about, you had said that the shaman told you, like, okay, you're my apprentice now, so I want to find out a little bit about what that has been all about and how you took your business school, your MBA, and like all of a sudden, like you're a shaman apprentice. This doesn't make any sense in my mind, but I want to find out more. Thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you, CJ.
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show and would love your support in any way by giving me comments below or to subscribe to the show or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.